transitioned and moved. Yeah, it took me like a while to get an OB, in which I had one established before I got here, but when I actually got here to schedule an appointment, they were saying like, okay, we still don't have your stuff, but we're finna get an influx of 200 patients because another facility is closing down, so all of their patients are coming to us. So we wouldn't be able to see you until the first week of December. My baby is supposed to be due in December. I was supposed to be at this point following up with high risk every week because I was seeing regular OB and high risk. So I was stressed. I was worried because the last time I saw my baby boy was October 22nd, and today is November 18th. And I just celebrated my birthday. So this will be a great gift for me to be able to see him. I had, put a lot of stress on my body during this move, so I was just so worried that I disturbed him. But yeah, I'm just now eating. I'm multitasking stuff. You be like, how you talking to eating? You call yourself classy? This is a part of being a hot, classy mom. Because I'm going to have to learn how to do both with my baby here. I'm sure of it. Um, yeah, I burned my forehead. And then yesterday, I burnt my hand. I burnt my finger. And I said, as soon as it hit me, I said, ow. And then my baby kicked me. So I'm wondering, did he feel my pain? I'm so hungry. Okay, I thought I could multitask, but I didn't want to do that. Last time I saw my baby, he was 3 pounds. So I'm excited to see how much he weighed today. I'm excited to see how much I weigh, which I think that he gonna take me to 200 pounds. So we'll see. I'm not gonna be mad about it though, cause I know that I would have to gain some pounds. I've been trying to do better about drinking water too. So I got this because my last doctor, she said that you should be drinking at least 2 liters of water a day, which I used to drink about that a day, but then I just like fell off and stopped doing it because in my last trimester, I barely want to eat and I barely want to drink. I won't eat and drink until I'm stupid thirsty or I'm actually hungry. I'm getting too big to be up and down to the bathroom every 5 minutes. And all I want to do is just lay down and sleep now. It's 12:41. My sister said that we are leaving about 1:15. Y'all know I'm gonna take care of my skin. Um, but what I was gonna say? Oh, this is what I wanted to share with y'all. I was watching the Women of Faith show on TBN that's on YouTube, and it was just talking about, I think, trusting God in the unknown, and really just talking about the waiting season. So um, dog, like I feel like with my son now, I have no choice but to. I mean, I do have a choice, but I feel like the best choice is for me to just trust him in the unknown. Like I'm completely fine with never having another man. Like that is a unknown that I don't care about, and I've just had such bad experiences with males that after getting pregnant with my son, it just showed me that I don't think men are good people. And I don't even like to call them men because I don't think that they're that. Because any real man wouldn't put me through or other women through the stuff that they would. Like, it's just, you're just not a real man. But anyway, there's that. And then I just was really worried about what am I going to do and how am I going to take care of my son because his dad he has already shown that throughout my pregnancy that he is not gonna be involved or that he just wasn't really involved in us. And he like was nice to us towards the end of our move, but I don't count on that because it's back to the same stuff. He goes over a week without talking to us, so and that's cool, it's whatever, you know. But when they were talking about the waiting season, it could be years. And like, I feel like my pregnancy was a major setback. My pregnancy has been very traumatic, it's been very painful. And this is not something that I feel like God gave me to heal me. You know what I'm just saying? I like people be like, oh, I needed my kid, for healing or blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, I don't really think that's a baby's assignment. They're just from God, and that's just what they are. And so with me bringing him into the world, I was just like, with everything that's gonna happen, I'm just like, Lord, I I feel like I'm gonna struggle with him, and like I don't want to speak that, but I have to be realistic. Like he deserves like so much better. And so within watching that, it just made me think about, how we'll go to the emergency room, go to the ER and sit there for hours, not knowing when you'll get seen, not knowing if you'll even get the answer. And I have to think about that if I ever have to take my son to the ER one day. I mean, just sitting there for hours after I'm worried about something that's wrong with him, and the doctors are saying it's one thing and he's still not getting better. It's just constant waiting, constant different doctors, constant specialists, constant appointment. And it could take years to finally get a diagnosis. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I had to think about in the waiting, because I did get impatient a lot with God over the years before I even got pregnant. I lost a lot of faith in him because I'm like, dog, you're not doing anything. Like you just want to sit here and watch like me suffer. Like that's not a good God. Like what kind of God would literally just have this for his so called child that he loved? And I remember there was a point I was like, God was doing everything right. And that still wasn't good enough. Like, you still let me go through so many things. I mean, it was a time that I was celibate. It was a time that men couldn't get nothing from me. There was that, and then I just got to a point, I'm like, dog, what's the point? So there's that. But anyway, it made me think about that. When I started battling with my health, it took me about 4 years just to kind of get somewhere, and then I got pregnant. And that's, one reason that, my son's dad, I just think that he's a nasty person. And because, you know, he got me pregnant out of malicious intent, not caring that, I was trying to get my health resolved. Like, these were a part of our plans, and then he decided to stab me in the back, and it just sucks. Because people don't get it. People are just like, oh, nobody would do that. Yes, they would. And he'll tell you that he did. But, so I went for years finally about to get an answer. I had to go through a waiting season just trusting God. Like, some days I thought I was going to die. And then when I got pregnant, I really thought the worst, because I didn't know what this baby was going to do to my body. But, anyway, after like about 3 years, finally, at the beginning of this year, is when I finally found a good primary care physician that listened to me. And he just started from square one. He was like, okay, well, I want you to see this specialist, and then I want you to see this specialist, and we're just gonna narrow it down, you know what I'm saying? And getting pregnant halted that process for me. So now I'm gonna have to now juggle my health after giving birth to a baby. And I don't know what that's gonna be like for me as a single mom. Like, yeah, I'm here with family and I have support, but that's, everybody doesn't understand your health. I'm just saying, like, it was hard for me because I was in the middle of a lupus diagnosis. So whether it's lupus or not, I was feeling like I was having symptoms like that to make them believe that I did. So getting back to the waiting season, like I was in a season of just seeing like, is God gonna do anything? I'm getting these people telling me like, oh, he's gonna heal you, and they think that my baby is gonna miraculously heal my sickness. And I had a pastor one day, and this is when I was fresh out the hospital. She told me like, "Oh, this is happening to you because you turned away from your first love." And I'm just like, how dare you say something like that to me when that's the only thing I had to hold on to while I was in the hospital. I didn't have no family around me. My family was ignoring me when I was calling them from the hospital. Child, no. So I don't really deal with them no more. You know, because I don't appreciate that. So again, this is my waiting season. Like I just was constantly waiting for the answers, for the why. Like what did I what am I supposed to do? I had nobody to take care of me, none of that. So it was hard. But I feel like in that waiting, I got to a point that I was finally gonna start to answer, and now that's pushed further back now that I got pregnant. But now at the expense of my son, I'm okay with learning how to with waiting. I just trusting God in the unknown on behalf of my son. Because what other choice is there? All right, so I'm gonna get my skin together, just moisturize it. So I didn't want to wake up and curl my hair like I've been doing for the last 2 days. So I tried to do these knots just to see that if it would have a better turnout. And I don't know how I feel about it, but it doesn't matter because I'm getting ready for my appointment. And at least I'm about to say it don't look that unruly, but it still look kind of unruly to me. But it don't look that bad. But I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and got dressed because I just heard my sister wake up. We're gonna be leaving soon, but I do want to address the part where I said that my son's dad intentionally planned to get me pregnant. A lot of people are probably like, "Oh, how's that possible?" Well, if he's watching this, he knows how that's possible. But I'm just saying, like, out of the number of times that we were intimate, no, we were not using protection, and that is not, why I say, you know, I could see that if the decision was mutual, but the decision was not mutual. Like, anytime we were intimate, and I use intimate because we were an actual committed relationship. You see what I'm saying? We were going to church together, worshiping together, going to therapy together, planning to get married. You see what I'm saying? So we had already had certain plans in place. And that's why I say, well, I thought it was intimacy, but for him, it was just sex. But, we had our own methods of preventing pregnancy, and that required for him to take it out. And, this day in particular, he just decided that he didn't want to without discussing it with me, and he did it on purpose. And I was just shocked because I knew that if I did end up getting pregnant, that would be very bad. And it did turn out to be like that. And he looked me in the face right after and told me that he did it on purpose just to trap me so I wouldn't leave. And then he proceeded to leave us and abandon us the rest of the pregnancy. So I just created a kid with a monster. Like, you flipped on me in that moment, the night that we conceived my son. And, yeah, he's apologized now and actually meant it, but that doesn't take back what you did, and that doesn't take back the ultimate betrayal. So, that was hard. And it still kind of is because this has ruined like pregnancy for me. Like I don't ever want to have another baby with anybody else. I wouldn't, like, it wasn't worth it. And I say that all that to say, like, because this is about um you know trusting God in the unknown. Like, I literally had to get to a point where I literally was not knowing what was going to happen with me and my son. I had to be prepared for if I was going to die, if the baby was going to die, if I was going to be able to carry this baby. Like, so many things just dropped on me. And I didn't know if I would be okay if I lost my kid. Nobody usually is okay if they do. I wasn't ready to be in that space. And I feel like I didn't really get the full opportunity to make that decision for myself. Um, so it was just betrayal. But I say that to say, like, if you are a single woman or a single mom like me, dog, leave these males in the dirt. Like, literally, if a man is professing that he loves God, his fruit literally has to show. And if it's rotten, believe it. You cannot unbruise nobody's fruit. And I would say that me and him both had some bruised fruit, right? But like I said, we were planning, like we were in therapy to get our trees back together so we could produce good fruit for each other, regardless of our circumstances that we had going on. But I feel like I was robbed for that. And like he would try to convince me and manipulate me and say like, oh, I love you. One day it's God's gonna work it out and I'm gonna do better and blah blah blah. Then the next day he's like, I'm not gonna change and I'm not gonna do this, and you're on your own. You know what I'm just saying? And I don't care because I'm gonna stay the same way. Like it was just a back and forth. And then like once, because in the beginning, the first and second trimester, I gave him hell because he just abandoned us, and I gave him hell every chance that I was able to get. And one day he tried to like gaslight me and say like, "Oh, well, me getting you pregnant was a way to show you that I love you. Why won't you let me love you? Because I love you enough to carry my kid." But I'm just thinking like, that's not what it is for you because you already have two kids with your ex-wife. You see what I'm saying? So this isn't not a badge of honor. You did it out of malicious intent. And so once I got to a point that I'm just like, he's not like he's never gonna change. I just accepted that these are the fruits that he's gonna produce. I won't marry him. I won't like because he wanted to still try to work things out, and I'm like, there's nothing to work out. I'll never trust you. There's a betrayal, and I know a real man of God and a man that God has for me would not play on my mind like that. Would not treat me or my body like that. Like it's already enough that I gave him my body, right? We were giving each other our bodies outside of marriage anyway, so that's automatically like betrayal to ourselves, right? But any real man of God is not going to persuade you into giving your body up as well and manipulate you and make you feel bad for not doing it. So to wrap this up, look at these cute little shoes. Yeah. Um, I just want to encourage you. Yeah, there might be males watching this, but this isn't necessarily for y'all. Like, you can take from it because, yes, this applies, but this is mostly for, me and women and hot moms that get it. Literally, your body is not obligated to a male. And I mean, yes, a certain part, like after marriage, it is, but even a man of God would still respect your body even after you marry him. You know what I'm just saying? And ladies, it's just not worth it. It's not worth your physical health and it's not worth your mental health. It's just not, because I can't really right now get into the things that I went through, but you can't imagine the type of manipulation that I was under. And the whole time I'm thinking like, okay, well, yeah, he loves me, because we still going to church, and yeah, he does love God. But getting pregnant really had me like open my eyes. Was just like, I was seeing like things about him that I was just like, ew, because oh my God, you really hate me. And if you loved me according to the way that God would have you, none of this would be. Like, I get, let's say if we did slip up and get pregnant, there would be that difference. But this is a difference because he knows what he was doing. And then every day after I told him I was pregnant, it was nothing but neglect. And he constantly would pretty much try to blame me for, it was just not good. His family too, like it was just nothing but drama and stress on me, just for me to end up having to uproot and leave at 7 months pregnant, which was also harder on me. So majority of my pregnancy has been stressful. And then he would continue to say like, oh, you just need to stop stressing because you'll hurt the baby. Or he would say things like, oh, you're starving the baby. Mind you, he knows that I didn't always have money to buy groceries. It was just so many things that he wouldn't give me any money. I was only getting $28 in food stamps. So, it was just a lot. And so, you don't love me. Ladies, don't ever let a male say that he loves you and he really literally showing you by his actions that he will spit on you. Like, I truly believe my BD would spit on me. Like, in all honesty, I'm surprised that he didn't. He might as well have. He did everything else. Like, I was 5 weeks pregnant. Y'all, he picked up dirt and threw it in my face. And I was so mad because I picked up a brick that I found and I was going to hit him with it. And he was like, oh, if you would have hit me with that, I would have hit you like a dude. And I believe him. But you can't hit me like a dude and you threw the first. You assaulted me first. Like, you picked up dirt and threw it at me for no reason. Like, y'all, I had just got a new hairstyle. I just did my hair. We had just got home from church. He begged me to come over to see him. I fell asleep because I'm pregnant. He didn't like that, so he decided to go outside and start like working or whatever. And I asked him to come back inside because I wasn't going to be there long, and he asked me to come over. So if he didn't want me over there, he could have just said that. He could have just worked. So he got mad that I told him that. He also got mad that I told him that, you know, that's not really important because I'm over here when it's not really productive. Like, he was making it seem like it was such a priority. And I told him, I said, what really need to be priority is you going to get a job, because he didn't work the first 3 months of my pregnancy. So, you know, there was that. I like, it's already bad that he told me, well, I know that you're pregnant for sure because I meant to do it. I meant to leave it in on purpose. And then quit his job. And then, like, it was just crazy. Ladies, don't let dudes, like, tell you one thing and show you another. Like, believe what he's showing you. Also believe what he's telling you. Because when he said he would have hit me like a dude, I believed that he would do that. Because he has fought me before. And I mean, I just, and all this while I'm pregnant. You know, so I want to say, if I'm trusting God in the unknown, it has nothing to do with a male. I don't trust God to bring me a good man because I don't care about that. Me and a male, if it never happens, I literally don't care. I just feel like they're so not worth it. And it would take a lot. It really would. And I just don't think that's worth it. But especially with having a kid now, anybody that has a kid, that should be the last thing that you're just thinking about anyway, is a male. Because they do nothing but take from you. Especially in a vulnerable situation, they will use that to their advantage. And that is exactly what my BD did. And I can't say that there's no hard feelings or no animosity, because I'm 7 months pregnant and I just had to get up and move. So that's still fresh. All of that is still traumatizing. I still have to figure out how I'm going to process that. Like, I know that it's going to take extensive therapy, and that's a part of the waiting in the unknown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be healed. I don't know if I'm ever going to be fully restored, because I'll never be able to be with a male and have a family with him. That would be so traumatizing. I could never be touched by another male. And like, it sounds like, oh, don't give him that kind of power over you, take your life back. Like, no dude deserves me or my body. Like, they don't. So, like, I would just be happy that if God placed good men in my son's life, that's enough. As long as he has good men to follow, because it's not his dad. You know, maybe I can trust God in the unknown, because I don't know if my son's dad is ever going to be a better man, if he's ever going to be changed or restored himself. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'd have to trust that God will do that work in him for me to even feel comfortable to leave my son with him, or to even think that he could be a role model to my baby. So Hadi's like, I don't really know if this was necessarily encouraging. I really don't know what it is, but I did just kind of want to talk about that, and just kind of be transparent about my own life, because literally should be welcoming my baby boy next month, And it's hard because I have to, I'm going to have to step down from work to go give birth. And then I'm concerned about my health and well being after I give birth to him. And then I'm like, Lord, how am I going to make money? Because I don't want to jump right back into work as soon as the 6 weeks is up. 6 weeks is not enough time to recover. Um, and then the dad says that he will try to help us out, but I can't depend on that because of what he's already shown me of how much he flip flops on me. And I just can't let him have that power over me anymore. I just can't be under that kind of manipulation. One minute you feel like this, and like with me being cordial, it can't be that I'm making him feel good that he wants to do stuff for us. So it's that. It's just like it can't just be me being a mature adult just trying to be cordial and whole time he's thinking it's something that it's not. So, and that's just not worth my sanity either because again, I have a baby on the way. And it's a should be we, but it wasn't we the day that I found out that I'm pregnant. The day that I found out that I'm pregnant, he literally asked me for a DNA test. And I'm just like, that was the start of it. And then you just wouldn't believe like how he treated me the next day. It was a lot. And I'm just saying like it's a lot of things that I am, you know, trust trusting God in the unknown about. You know, it's a lot. Because now I have a kid involved and he doesn't deserve to have a broken mom. He doesn't deserve to see a sad mom. So now I'm trying to do everything that I can for me not to show that to him, although that very well may be my truth. That's the reality of it. I'm not going to hide how I feel. I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm not going to suppress it because that's going to do more damage to him. I don't ever want to resent him because of his dad. And I think that starts with being transparent and being open and being truthful. It's just a matter of me doing the work. Like, yes, going to therapy, but literally just learning how to trust God at his word. And so to end this video, I want to give you this word. I believe it's a psalm, but it was just like, I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord. And that's what I got out of that sermon that I was watching. They didn't quote that scripture in there at all, but that's what God gave me because even though I don't believe that I'll ever be fully healed or ever fully restored, that is what I want to stand on in the uncertainty and in the unknown. But I am going to get ready to go, hotties. But keep it hot and keep it classy.